Disclaimer, disclaimer, read all about it.
Hello, my beautiful people. It's a late live because, why not? You know how I am about setting people up for failure when they can't really defend themselves. I don't kind of like that. Um, and I think it's very important to get it out there. What I'm about to talk about, I think it's kind of obvious if you follow other creators out there. I don't mince my words. And so, what is this live about? Well, of course, as the title states, it is about Sarah Wondra, her first marriage per DV court records. Because really, it's kind of he said, she said, in my opinion, when you um, speak on relationship matters. I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you, to bring in past um, items of discussion. However, when you know the background and somebody, you know, interviews your ex-husband, for instance, um, because you're a suspect in a missing child's case, it might be wise just to get the full story because it sounds like chaos ensued with all parties, and I'll explain. But there's more to it than that, way more, actually. And I think that it has a lot to do with what's going on the YouTube streets. There's a campaigning, if you will, to um, prove guilt before innocence, which is really ironic coming from a lot of creators I'm noticing, right? It's very interesting. Um, I would hate for this to set the precedence for how cases are covered. Um, the audacity, for starters. Um, it's flip-flopped, right? Uh, there are creators out there that do not get involved with other creators' content and like them and support them. Those are the smart creators that I am going to, in the near future, look up to and mimic that kind of ethics for their own personal um, safety, first of all, but never get in bed with another creator. You might get the fleas that they offer you, right? It will never work. And that's a lesson that I've learned because I am semi new to the YouTube streets. Um, Even though it's been since 2021, late 2021, you learn your lessons. Choose the ones that like the truth, want the truth, and don't exploit the truth. It's that simple. It's really that simple, right? So let's see what we have in the chat because I think some people are understanding what I'm talking about here. Good to see you, Chris. Jeep. This is going to be a short live-ish, I hope. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes because your girl's tired. I'm sure you guys are tired. And it's 1:30 in the morning where I'm at. Got your coffee? I actually need to go pour a cup so that I can get through this. And hopefully I won't uh, stay up all night. But I do need my coffee. That's just how I work. So give me just a moment. I'm going to put something on the screen for your viewing pleasure, if you want to call it that. Just get a little refreshed. And I might play a video too, depending on if I forgot to hit the brew button on the coffee now that I'm thinking of it. Damn you, ADHD. Hi, Justin. I saw a few of your comments in the other chat. Interesting. I'm glad you're here to get the second side of the story, the actual story of at least what I can prove to you. You know how I am. Slap that like, listen force, you beautiful people. Thank you, my wee frosty uh, voice of reason. Ah, you cannot get enough of that. I can tell you that, especially me. Nay, good to see you, hun. I got your email, and I'm sorry I didn't respond, but I would love to respond to what you sent me. That's for sure, because I agree with you. Let's be clear. First off, we don't know if the man on the lab was even her ex, right? Because surely if Josh knew this man used to, you can read that on the screen, he wouldn't have allowed that, or would he? See the irony. You remember when your girl Eve was recently slam dunk and chunked before getting the proof out there, just accused, right? Just accused of doing something, which I guess anybody can be a victim of, right? The whole guilty until proven innocent thing uh, tends to happen here on the YouTube streets. And, I had to go, where's the receipts? What are you talking about? That's not true. Proved it. Proved myself. Um, and still, nobody bats an eye because it wasn't about the truth. The truth seems to be subjective on these streets, right? Well, here, I'm going to go ahead and get my coffee so I can string the rest of these thoughts together before raging into um, my pillow because it's been a long day. But maybe this will get an idea for you as to the start or end of their relationship, meaning Sarah Wondra and Mr. Chambers that you saw on the lab. We allege it to be Mr. Chambers. It sounds like a Texan accent. I have one myself. So one moment here. I'll set this right here. Thank you. And as someone who is a victim of DV, um, no matter who it would be, to exploit that is disgusting. This is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is showing the truth, since it's already put out there that Sarah wanted to put a knife to his neck and all of these accusations, which, hey, I'm sure may be true. But anyway, let me go get my coffee. You just go ahead and read this bad boy, and I'll be right back. Almost done. Gotta get my coffee creamer. Sorry about that. Wait. So sorry. So, oh no. Let's get it started, right? What is this? Well, it's assault with bodily harm charge against Sarah, or excuse me, I apologize, against Ricky Chambers, who Sarah Wondra was married to in good old Texas. Now, is this ASMR live? Probably. Now, if you're coming in late, you're probably asking, why the hell are we going through this? She's a suspect in a missing child's case. Why are you a suspect, Simp Eve? Well, everyone is innocent until proven guilty by law. And I know that no one is free from scrutiny in the public eye. But again, it's always about having the two sides of the story, just like an unbiased jury would, right? So, what is this all about? Well, the reason why this charge came about is because there was proof or evidence to suggest that Sarah Wondra was assaulted by none other than Sir Ricky. There's a divorce in 2010. Just letting you know that they got divorced in another state, even though they were married, I believe, in Texas. So, there you are. Just to let you know, this isn't some made up cockamamie story that Eve has done and manipulated documents. If you need the receipts, I provide them. But this is just a certificate. You have to get your fingerprints done here in Texas when you do some criminal shit. You have to sign basically discovery, any kind of discovery that's asked of you. It just looks a little different in Texas, especially in these small little counties. All right. Well, what does this mean? There's no details on this. Well, give me just a moment. This is an impromptu live and I suck. So just one moment. So you're going to see here in a minute that Mr. Chambers decided that it would be in the best interest to strike the victim, which would be Sarah Wondra at this time in 2009, with his fists and kick her repeatedly. And there was enough evidence to suggest that he should be arrested. And he was booked. You saw the discovery. So why is this something that I need to bring to your attention? Well, first of all, it has nothing to do with Michael's current case. It does, I understand it does kind of show the person or situations that Sarah Wondra, I guess, got herself in, if you will. Not the DV, but just, getting the essence of Sarah in her past. But this was from 2009, all right? And I don't care who you think you are and what you think you're trying to prove. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't go and flaunt this around people's faces to get either at other creators or to try to pigeonhole me, which I kind of understand that there's a gameplay here because I get it. And do what you got to do. I don't care. But this is so against everything that I would assume looking up to someone who is in law enforcement, was in law enforcement, and is continuing to work with law enforcement. It's despicable. Completely despicable. What are you talking about, Eve? You're not making any sense. Why does the DV related issue from 2009 between Sarah and her ex, Ricky Chambers, why is this such a big contention with you? Let people talk the shit that they want. She's a suspect in the Michael Vine case, whatever. Well, the reason why I bring this up is because maybe, just maybe, I could bite my tongue. Probably not. But because this was an original idea before Sir Lab came on to exploit it, and then not back up the receipts again about who the walking man is, it's just not going to work. Um, Charges were pressed, correct. And we'll explain. No, he did not get convicted of the crime. However, she was unable to come back to Texas. She fled to Oregon to get away, and she was unable to make that court date. It can get a little expensive traveling with no money and no job. I can understand that, but it doesn't matter. The facts were the facts in the um, court records, and that's that. So, if the lab would like to pay for those and get that information in detail, I would suggest it. Maybe that could give some insight as to whatever you think you're looking for. At the end of the day, you just exploited a time in someone's life where they were a victim of domestic violence. Maybe some people are okay with punching people over couches when they're drunk by calling people a cunt. That is one thing, I guess. But it is not okay. It is not okay to character assassinate the fuck out of somebody that had nothing to do with a current situation, especially with other people who are victims of DV. It's pathetic. And this campaign that's going on to um, publicly convict somebody without any real basis except for people are lying, we obviously know where that got me, huh? Right? But I never said anybody was guilty. I never claimed that I knew what happened. But there are people out here who shamed me for that, turned around and is doing the same thing. And it makes you wonder, how much was that worth? How much does it cost to get that in a case? And where is it coming from? Right? Something. Something's up. And I'm not going to just let it go. It's not right. All four of them could be guilty beyond guilty. And this is still wrong. This is wrong. There was one point in time where it was okay for people to yell at their children. Like that was the consensus. It's okay to want to strangle your child. People are okay with that. Everybody yells at their kids. We've had this discussion. Okay. I don't agree, but okay. But wow, is no one safe from scrutiny in a sense of having nothing to do with the information at hand? Yes, of course. You look at somebody's background, but you don't always have to exploit it, do you? Now that's different. Not once have I ever exposed the 4 different drug related charges or DUI or under the influence charges on the father. Never, not once. Would that be okay? Put a 1 in the chat if it's okay, and 2 if it's not. would it be okay to put the past, and I mean the actual past, of the mother of a missing child, put a 1 if that's okay and a 2 if it's not? There are certain boundaries that you would need to keep from an integrity standpoint, but also it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So the reach is real. It seems like nobody really can figure out this thing except for because they're banging whoever and, you know, they're shirtless in a hot tub. They look very, very typical of what an open and shut case would look like if it were anything else but a missing child's case, in my opinion. So, again, that's just my opinion. Now, if you have the pleasure of being close to me, off of YouTube, the information that was within that domestic assault or bodily injury against Sarah Wondra will be discussed, but I've already covered it once. You can go look into the Michael Vaughn playlist and go find it, because I did that months ago. And it seems like all of the topics that these creators are cashing in on hardcore that nobody seems to know anything about had already been done. So that's all I got. I do have a video to play you before I leave. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm going to go ahead and do my spin-off. You know, as I say, drink your water, hug yourself, your fur babies, your grandbabies, all those babies. Let's get justice for Michael Vaughn and stop with the fuck shit. Because it's just going to get worse each and every time you try. It really is. All right, guys, much love. Stay for the video, and I'll see you on the next live. This video is the start of the 4 suspects. Who blabbed first? How did we get here? How did Fruitland get to the 1102 Red Wing Street, where they excavated the backyard of the Wandra's house? Let's begin. Can y'all hear that? First of all, sorry. Can y'all hear that? Sorry, I don't want to play it. Okay, good. KDB says yes. Cheap Girl says no. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We got this. Let me know. Hit a 1 if you can hear it.
Yeah. Fruitland PD.
When did Michael Vaughn's family become aware of Stacey Wondra? Let's go back to June 2022 Twitter to find out. June 7th, tweet from Michael's caregiver who last saw him on July 26th, the day before he went missing.
Yeah. Fruitland PD finally reached out to me today. Apparently, someone who shared my photo of Monkey back on August 1st has raised suspicion. But alas, someone thinks I sent this photo directly to this person. Yo, it's called copy and paste, people. Last time I had heard from them was back in January. Are you?
Context. This is the babysitter getting a call from one of the detectives that you actually heard on the Labs Live if you went over there, who also asked about Sarah to Ricky Chambers, her ex-husband. So this same detective calls the babysitter and says, "Hey, we hear that you had shared this photo with Stacy Wondra, who is a very suspicious person of interest at this moment." So this was again in June of 2022. Remember, Stacy had been arrested in May for the federal gun charge the month prior. Who said this information to the detective? None other than Tyler's sister. Yes, the fathers of Michael Vaughn's sister. So Michael Vaughn's aunt.
You saying FPD has a suspect?
I'm saying I got a phone call because Tyler Vaughn's sister told the lead detective I sent the photo directly to Stacy Wondra. For some reason this person is on the radar.
Here is the media manager Tim Mullen, Lana Westbrook, using the caregiver's tweets against her.
Did you see what I did there?
Westbrook using the caregiver's tweets against her. Fruitland PD asked caregiver to take down the tweet due to Stacy Wondra being a person of interest, which she asked Lana to do the same. Caregiver states she has never heard or had any contact with Stacy Wondra. A great question was asked that I'd like the answer to as well. How did Tyler's sister know whether caregiver sent a photo directly to Stacy or not? Because she didn't. She posted it publicly to spread awareness for Michael. How did Tyler's sister become aware of Stacy and no one else has heard of him before November 2022?
It's just a question that I would like. It's never going to happen, but it would always be nice to get that kind of confirmation. So this is the post of this sweet boy that the babysitter had shared with everyone. Brandy's bestie shared it separately. Other people shared it separately. But because Stacy Wondra puts it on his profile picture, guilty. Okay. It's just a regular post. Is that you, Stacy? No, this is a child that went missing in our neighborhood and has been gone for 5 days. Blah, blah, blah. And no one can find him. He's only 5 years old. And then shared the flyer that I believe Randy Neal left on the door. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And there's another or a separate one that is on the refrigerator that everyone went, "Oh God!" Because the Richard Allen Delphi case just came out right around that time, or maybe right before. And everybody found out that Richard Allen had the victims, Abby and Libby, on his wall. So everybody went, "Oh my God, tragedies. It's a tragedy." They did it, right? I digress.
Why was the caregiver the ultimate suspect to everyone in the family when the mother, Brandy Neal, cleared her multiple times? Recently, another detective at Fruitland PD told caregiver she wasn't and hasn't been a suspect since late fall of 2021.
But after Tyler did the first one, Tyler damn near flipped the table over, apparently, and this is what I was told. Tyler flipped the table? He almost did. because he was upset at the fact that he failed, because he was like, there's no way in hell I did nothing to my son. And then he had to actually physically hold Tyler to calm him down because he was so erratic. Like, do it again. Like, this is wrong. There's no way.
Right.
And even that one FBI agent that I wanted to punch in the face told Tyler, they're like, we can see how those questions, and especially your state of mind, are misleading or misdirecting, or basically it was like misleading. So that's why he did another one.
Okay. And did he pass that second question?
Yes.
Or they rewrote it?
As far as I know, I don't know. I can't say for sure how that happened, but I do know that they said they will not be giving him another polygraph test. So.
Okay. Did they come out and tell him though you passed the second one? Not that it means anything. I don't want you caught in the public's eye. Okay. Don't answer that. Here's how you answer that question.
I don't, because I was waiting for him. So the first polygraph test, they came and picked him up and took him 45 minutes away. And we didn't leave our neighborhood. We couldn't even go anywhere. Like, what if Michael came home? And then they take him away from me, and he's gone for 8 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So the next one, this Doug Hart came in, and he was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get you guys in a more comfortable environment, or get Tyler in a more comfortable environment. You can't be in there, but if you want to be there to support him, that's fine. And then the detective sat there, Anita, she sat there with me the entire time. It was like about 2.5 hours.
Yep. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that as a friend.
Okay.
You to answer that. So here's how I want you to answer that. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that as a friend. Okay? When social media says, did you guys take a polygraph? You answer it by saying, we have cooperated 100% with this investigation.
Okay. Yep.
There's, the details in relationship to this investigation, like that kind of question, okay, we are searching for our son, and I'm sure the authorities will tell you what the truth is.
Right.
Okay, so what you do is you catch the football, okay, and then you spike it in the end zone, okay? Because what you don't want people thinking is, this family, they're dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
Because just say, we have cooperated 100% with the authorities.
Yep.
Okay, and you're more than welcome to ask the authorities, anything you would like. We do not want to compromise anything about bringing Michael. Okay? And the authorities have already said what they needed to say about us.
Anywhere, like
Rolling.
yeah. So the next one, this Doug Hart came in, and he was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get you guys in a more comfortable environment, or get Tyler in a more comfortable environment. You can't be in there, but if you want to be there to support him, that's fine. And then the detective sat there, Anita, she sat there with me the entire time. It was like about 2.5 hours.
Yep. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that as a friend.
So, as the lab asked me once recently, would I ever extend the same kind of help to the parents of Michael Vaughn? which I said that's what was already happening on Twitter. That's what we're all trying to do. So I want to ask the same question to the lab and anyone that supports that, what you just heard. Would you extend the same help? And I bet you're going to get the same answer. We tried. So, what do you think? What do you think this is going to accomplish? And what do you think this is all really about? Like I've been saying, guys, it's all about keeping Summer's case this way and Michael's case this way. Because let's face it, maybe, just maybe, Candace and Dawn don't deserve to get away with it like maybe others would. Have a great night, guys. Much love. Thank you for being here.